Greetings and salutations, my friends. Welcome to the Ramble. Today, I want to do something a little bit different. It's something me and Curly were talking about for a couple of hours yesterday. It's a bit of a thought experiment, and don't just rush this, because it's an important question. So you visit the doctors, and the doctor says, due to some magical illness or problem, that you can only eat 3 foodstuffs for the rest of your life. Now, with this, you don't have to think nutritionally. He gives you a magic pill that contains all the nutrition and vitamins and minerals and all that good stuff that you could ever need, right? But you've got to choose 3 foods. And this is not, you can't say, a tin of baked beans, because that contains tons of different ingredients. They have to be basically 3 ingredients. Now, to spend a bit of time on this, have a think, and it's good not to just go for your favourite food, because even your favourite food, let's say steak. You can say fillet steak is one of my things. It might be your favourite food to begin with, but having to eat it every day for the rest of your life, it might lose a bit of its appeal. So spend a bit of time. Let me know in the comments and why that you chose those ingredients. I'm going to give you my 3 ingredients that we discussed at length with Curly. We like doing these random things. So, things to look at when going for these 3 ingredients. For me, probably the biggest thing is versatility. Oh, by the way, you don't have to worry about drinks. That's all covered. And for cooking, there's no oils or anything, unless you want to take cooking oil as one of your things. But you're allowed water. That's the only thing. So you can boil veg or whatever. So, versatility is, I think, absolute key. There's no point in picking a foodstuff. Like we were considering, say, rice, for instance. And rice is nice. I love a bit of rice, but there's not a massive amount you can do with it on its own. It's relatively bland, but might work with other things. But you can't change its form too much and stuff. So that is why my first choice is the potato. Now, the reason I chose the potato is because of its versatility. You can roast it. You can have it as a jacket spud. You can have it as chips. You can have it as mash. You could really puree it up as well to have sort of a, not soup, that's optimistic, but a runny mash, let's go with. You can even chop it finely and oven it, bake it until you get crisps. Not the most flavoursome crisps in the world, but the potato itself is amazingly versatile. We did consider sweet potato. I'm just not a fan of sweet potato. It would be good for the crisps, but things like chips and stuff, I just don't like the taste of sweet potato. So number 1 is the lowly potato. I think it's an excellent base for lots of stuff, and I think textures are important as well. So there's lots of different textures you can have with the lowly potato. Now, number 2 is the chicken. Now, the reasons we chose the chicken, again, the versatility, but also there's one important thing. So, you've got a chicken, cool. You can have, chicken. But you can also make mince out of chicken, so you can make some basic like chicken burgers and stuff like that. You can roast it and you can pan fry it and dry fry it and all that sort of stuff as well. So, chicken in itself is nice, is great, but the chicken carcass is almost the most important part for it. See, if you're not a cook person, you can boil up with some water, you can boil down the chicken carcass and get some really nice stock, which can be used to flavour the potato, basically. And I think that would be really, really versatile as well. And I think that would help in so many other things, as well as chicken being a nice snack on its own. They don't all have to be together all the time as well. You can pick, say, one ingredient that you just have as a snack. But chicken works really well. It gives you that stock. You can also get the fat off the chicken. If you boil it down, you'll get that sort of small layer of fat on the top, which you could use for frying and stuff like that. So, we've put some thought into this. This is why I want you guys to do the same if you're interested. So we went for chicken as the number 2, and we both agreed on this. Although we have quite different tastes in food, me and Curly, we both went for these 3 things because to us they were like, that makes sense. There might be something obvious that we've forgotten that somebody in the comments is going to go, this, and idiot. But our number 3, and this is the trickiest one, we pretty much settled on potato and chicken. I'll give you some of the also rans. Apple popped up because, as well as being a nice snack, You can puree it down. You can get juice as well. It's quite a versatile thing. But apple and potato doesn't really go. Apple and chicken is not that useful. We considered other veggies, like cauliflower's an interesting one because you can make. I've seen cauliflower pizza bases and cauliflower rice and all sorts of stuff. I just detest cauliflower, so that really doesn't help. So the one we went for is the carrot, and there's multiple reasons. Similar thing. It's a versatile vegetable. They're for vegetables relatively sweet. So you could make some nice carrot juice or carrot puree. You could actually have as a dessert in very large inverted commas. And you could also use it with the potato and the chicken broth that we've made. And I think it will work really well. But you can also sort of slice it thinly and bake it in the oven to make almost carroty crisps. You could also, like I say, puree it. You could also roast carrots as well. They're really nice. So, I think it just so happens that the three things together is almost a meal. Potato, chicken, and carrot. So, although none of them have particularly strong flavours, the reason for the chicken is because if you can reduce that down, you get a nice, real strong flavour to it. Also, salt and pepper count as a thing as well. So, there's no salt and pepper unless you choose it. So, my first choice was cheese. But actually, upon a bit of research, because, we take this shit seriously, upon a bit of research, you can make cheese out of just milk, but it's not the cheese, it's not the mature cheddar that we know and love. Mature cheddar actually has a bunch of ingredients, so that actually cancelled that out. We did also talk about, because I suggested at one point, what about beef? But then we were like, well, can you just choose different cuts of it? Like, let's choose pig instead, and then you can get bacon and all sorts of stuff. So we said, if you're going to choose like say beef, for instance, or pork or something, you have to choose a cut. So you'd have to say fillet steak or bacon or whatever it is. You can't just have the whole of an animal, unless it's a small animal like a duck or a chicken or quail. You're very posh if one of your three things is quail, to be fair. But, each to their own. So I think it works really well together. We've got a nice mixture of textures. We've got masses of versatility to try and, as much as possible, mix up our daily variation of food. But I know some people are going to go, what the fuck is he on about? And I can see that, yeah. I get your point. But actually, these really things are really fun sort of thought experiments to do. And we often do them, me and Curly. And spend a bit of actual time thinking about it. We're racking our brains, and I was trying to think of something obvious that we'd forgotten, and I don't think there is. Like, you can't choose bread, for instance, because bread's got tons of ingredients. So you've just got to choose something that is only an ingredient, one thing in it. So let me know yours in the comments. If you can, give me reasons why you'd choose said things. It could be that you just love asparagus. Could asparagus be decent? No. And that's be one of your options. If you want to go just three things you really love and hope that you don't get bored, that's fine. But I think for me at least, me and Curly at least, I think versatility is the key. And although chicken wasn't our favourite meat, having the carcass to be able to reduce and create stock and a nice broth, because then that produces, we could have soups and stuff with a bit of puree potato and carrot as a soup. There's lots of options and flavours there. So let me know in yours in the comments below. It's a fun one, and if you like it, please do tell me, because I can think of other random questions to have each week. I quite like that idea, to pose you guys with a random sort of thought experiment for the weekend to ponder. You can talk to your missus and stuff, or your mister, or your whatever it is nowadays, and get their thoughts and stuff, and leave it in the comments as well. But there you go. That's just a little mini ramble. As for the diet update, didn't lose any weight this week. 0. Didn't put any back on, which is okay. I kind of just had the honeymoon period is over for the diet at the moment. Curly did really well, lost 2 pounds, which is just under a kilo. It kind of got old this week, and I did have one night where I just went, fuck it, I'm having 4 pieces of toast with crunchy peanut butter on. And that's okay, as long as I can justify it to myself and go, okay, and then reduce maybe the next day a bit because of what I just stuffed my face on and everything. Yeah, that's it. So let me know your 3 things you have to live with forever. Make sure it contains only one ingredient, so to speak. It is an ingredient all of itself. You can have water, you can't have salt and pepper and any of those things unless you make it a choice. Let me know. I'd be fascinated to know your thoughts and remind me of something we completely forgot about. And I'll see you next time on The Ramble, the thought experiment. Bye-bye.